Hello everybody and welcome. I feel the need to make this video about creativity and probably the lack of it. I don't know whether it is one because we are in lockdown at the moment, or it's just one of those things that we all go through. Well, I know we do all go through it. I'm sure you'll totally agree with that. I've sort of been thinking over my photography life and how my photography has evolved over the years, and how I have been able to keep not only inspiration but creativity alive. So this is sort of what I wanted to have a chat with you today about. This video might end up being total rubbish and I might not even post it, but we'll see how it goes. Going back to basically when I retired and picked up a camera again, I won't go into my sort of film days, but when I picked up a camera again, I started to shoot sort of landscapes, as everybody or a lot of people do, but my heart wasn't in it. It just wasn't there. So I sort of looked at something else to photograph, and I took up photographing flowers, which I thoroughly enjoyed, which I'm going to show just a few images that I took. They were sort of taken in an artistic manner, sort of not really fully in focus, sort of blurred, very shallow depth of field, as you can see. And I did this for about 3 years, I suppose, but it got to the stage where I was sort of thinking, oh God, I've sort of photographed that flower hundreds of times, and I was finding that the creative fire, if you like, was sort of diminishing. So I thought, what else can I sort of do? Abstract has always sort of been a love of mine with paintings, so I've always enjoyed abstract. So I thought I would see if I could start doing that, putting that into my photography to see if it lights the fire again. So I started doing intentional camera movement, and I was absolutely loving it. I was loving the results it was producing, and I was just thoroughly enjoying it. I did that for about, again, 3 years, 4 years maybe, and I was hitting this wall again of creativity. I couldn't sort of think of new compositions to take. It was sort of driving me mad. Now, I am my own worst enemy. The only person putting pressure on me is me. I just get the feeling that I have to sort of produce images, which is absolutely ludicrous, and that's probably half the problem. If you pressurize yourself, it really doesn't work. But anyway, I was finding that I was hitting this wall with ICM again. I didn't want to come off doing abstract, or I tend to rather like to call it photographic art rather than abstract. So I thought I started looking at on YouTube of the old sort of photographic artists of the past and taking sort of inspiration from them. And as I've mentioned in some of my videos before, one of my great inspirations has been Chris Friel. I just love his work, and if you haven't seen his work, just take the time to have a look at it, because it's absolutely amazing. So I started to sort of come out of ICM a little bit and go into a sort of photographic art, if you like, more. And actually I felt quite guilty about it, because on some of my videos I've sort of shown you how I've sort of moved into this field, and I actually got a comment from one of my viewers and said, I'm really upset that you're not doing ICM anymore. You know, you've been a great inspiration to me, and it's a shame that you're not doing it anymore. And I felt really guilty. I thought, you know, dear, I'm letting people down. But which is crazy to feel that way, because I'm not letting people down. I'm letting myself down if I don't keep that spark going. So I moved into the sort of work that I am now doing. But as I say, with lockdown that we're in, I was really struggling. So how do you keep this inspiration going? I haven't got the answer for you, to be perfectly honest. It's funny actually, because I'm going to put an image up here that I made the other day, and a few months ago I took a lot of photos of my granddaughter, and I was cooking some bacon in a baking tray, and when I'd finished I put some water in it and to soak it with some washing up liquid, and when I had a look at it the following day, it had got like this sort of white scum, if you like, on top of the water. And I looked at it and I thought, that's interesting. So what I thought is I got a photograph of my granddaughter, and I isolated in her eyes and just sort of played with the image until I'd just sort of got rid of all her features but just had her eyes there. And I printed this off, and I actually immersed the photograph in this tray of grease, you know, which it basically was, and I took a photograph of that, which this image is. So inspiration can sort of just come just like that when you see something. I think the biggest mistake you can make is to pressurize yourself into making images, because very often the ideas will come just like that, you know. Another example of this was I actually made this image a few months ago of this tree, and I actually love this image. I was really pleased with it. It's one of my favorites. But I was wrapping up some food in some Bako foil, and if you crumple up, when you throw the Bako foil away and crumple it up, you get this sort of nice sort of effect with it. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could put that into my images. So I got some Bako foil and I crumpled it up and then flattened it out again, put it on the floor, took a picture of it, and I've put this into my image. I actually have done it in iColorama, which I use, but it can be, you know, done in layers in Photoshop or Lightroom. And I ended up with this image, which I was really, really pleased with. The whole idea, or the whole point of this little chat is to try and understand where inspiration comes from and where creativity comes from. I think if you try and just concentrate on one style of photography all the time, you do get stale. I think you have to move on, if you like, I mean, if you look at all the big photographers, even the ones that just take images of landscapes and things like that, you will find that their sort of style does change over time. I've been sort of watching certain landscape photographers, and they have moved from the big vista to the sort of up close and personal type images, if you like. And they've done this because they have got sort of bored, or they don't have the inspiration for the big vistas anymore, so they try something different and moving into this up close and personal. So, you know, I think everybody does change their style or what they photograph, and I think this is only got to be a good thing. I don't know whether you agree with me. You may be perfectly happy with what you've been photographing for years, and you know, you always get new ideas, and fair play to you. But yeah, I just felt I had to sort of get this off my chest, and I would love to know what you guys think, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. And the other thing is, I think the biggest mistake you can make is to sort of pressurize yourself, because I think creativity will come on its own, as I've sort of shown you with these two images. So yeah, I think that's just about it really. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. So yeah, thank you very much. If you do see any of my images that you think you would like a print of, please go to my website. The link is below. I'm doing them, I consider, a really reasonable price, and they're all printed by me on the finest quality paper. So yeah, if that's something that you find it might be of interest to you, just email me with the image number, and I can do that for you. So yeah, I think that's enough of me rabbiting on. Thanks very much for listening. Until next time, this is John Dexter saying bye for now.